Distinguished representative of Azerbaijan. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. At the outset, I would like to thank His Excellency Mr. Zbigniew Rau, the OSCE Chairperson in office, for hospitality extended to the delegations at the Ministerial Council. I wish every success to our distinguished colleague, His Excellency Mr. Bujar Osmani of North Macedonia, as the incoming chairperson in office. This year marked with the 30th anniversary of Azerbaijan's participation in the OSCE, which coincided with our chairmanship at the Forum for Security Cooperation during the first trimester. As it has been for 30 years, during our FSC chairmanship, Azerbaijan was guided by strong belief that adherence to the fundamental norms, principles, and commitments enshrined in the core OSCE documents, starting from the Helsinki Final Act, in particular, respect for sovereignty, territorial integrity, and inviolability of frontiers of states, must remain the bedrock of security and stability, as well as the basis for cooperation within the OSCE. The principle of consensus-based decision-making is clearly reflected in all major OSCE decisions. For years, Azerbaijan suffered from the misuse of consensus within the organization. Nevertheless, we always advocated for strict adherence to the letter and spirit of cooperative security, firmly underpinning the OSCE and its conflict cycle toolbox. In this regard, sending a so-called needs assessment mission to Armenia without consensus is a blatant violation of mandates adopted by collective will of all participating states. All OSCE institutions, including the chairmanship and secretariat, are established as common asset for all participating states. Failure to act accordingly undermines confidence. Azerbaijan calls upon these institutions to rectify their gross violation of their mandates. Dear colleagues, with the end of almost 30 years long armed conflict with Armenia, Azerbaijan has now embarked on elimination of its negative consequences, enabling hundreds of thousands of IDPs to return to their homes in safety and dignity, and ensuring peaceful life in the post-conflict territories are the absolute priority for the government of Azerbaijan. The first group of families have recently returned to the Agali village in the liberated Zangilan district of Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan is also resolute to reintegrate its citizens of Armenian origin residing in post-conflict territories into its political, social, and economic space, guaranteeing the same rights and freedoms with all the citizens of Azerbaijan. The Constitution of the Republic of Azerbaijan provides the solid legal framework in this regard. Increased dialogue and contacts over past months between Central Azerbaijani authorities and local ethnic Armenians resident need to be encouraged and sustained. Contamination of liberated territories with mines laid by Armenia on a massive scale is the major impediment for the reconstruction efforts and return of IDPs. Sadly, after the signing of the trilateral statement in November 2020, 268 persons have become mine victims. 45 persons, including 35 civilians, were killed. Failure by Armenia to provide Azerbaijan with full and accurate mine maps of all liberated territories brings new deaths and injuries. Around 55% of all mine incidents took place in areas with respect to which no minefield record was shared by Armenia. On the contrary, Armenia continues indiscriminate planting of mines in the territories of Azerbaijan. Recently, 350 landmines were detected in the territory of Azerbaijan. All of them were produced in Armenia in 2021. The commander of the Russian peacekeeping force and the leadership of Joint Turkish-Russian Monitoring Center, as well as foreign military attachés accredited in Azerbaijan, have visited this area and inspected the minefield in question. In total, more than 2,700 landmines made in Armenia in 2021 have been found in sovereign territories of Azerbaijan. These mines were transferred through the Lachin Road. This is a blatant abuse of this road, which was envisaged for humanitarian purposes only. Along with large-scale post-conflict recovery, reconstruction and reintegration works, Azerbaijan has also initiated the process of normalizing interstate relations with Armenia. Despite devastating consequences and unhealed wounds of war and occupation, Azerbaijan offered Armenia peace based on mutual recognition and respect for each other's sovereignty and territorial integrity within their state borders. For the past 2 years, my country has been demonstrating strong political will to promote the peace agenda. At meetings held this year in Brussels, Prague and Sochi, at the highest level, both sides confirmed their mutual recognition of each other's sovereignty, territorial integrity, and inviolability of borders. I met Foreign Minister of Armenia 3 times to discuss the preparation of a bilateral treaty on the interstate relations. At our latest meeting in Washington, D.C., on 7 November 2022, we agreed to expedite negotiations to that end. With this in mind, Azerbaijan has already submitted to Armenia a set of comments on the draft agreement. Azerbaijan's approach is clear, consistent, and is based on international law. After almost 30 years of no formal relations, the urgent necessity for the sides is to agree on a legally binding document setting the foundation of their interstate relations. This document shall guarantee their rights as 2 equal sovereign states and provide a basis for addressing all issues of common interest or concern falling into the realm of interstate relations. Despite increased dynamism in bilateral negotiations, the progress remains rather limited in 3 major tracks of Armenia-Azerbaijan interstate normalization process, namely signing a peace treaty, delimitation of borders, and opening of regional communications. In all 3 dimensions, Armenia sticks to past practice of imitation rather than engaging genuinely into the process. Despite verbal commitments to the peace agenda, Armenia tries to avoid implementing the obligations it has undertaken. Armenia has yet to fully withdraw its legally armed formations from the territories of Azerbaijan. In a similar vein, Armenia artificially delays the restoration of transport links, including by rejecting to provide unimpeded access between mainland Azerbaijan and its Nakhchivan Autonomous Republic. Instead, Armenia launched a smear campaign against Azerbaijan to hijack the normalization agenda and distract the attention from non-fulfillment of its commitments. The role of certain third parties to embolden Armenia's revanchist behavior is also cause for serious concern, as it tempts Armenia to resort to increased military provocations and warmongering rhetoric. At a time when both sides have a real chance to finally move towards sustainable peace, it is essential for the international community, including the OSCE, to persuade Armenia to abandon its attempts to undermine the normalization process. Armenia should reciprocate on the constructive offer of Azerbaijan and seize the historic window of opportunity to normalize its relations with Azerbaijan and other neighboring countries. This will pave the way towards peace, security, and cooperation in the region. Thank you, Mr. Chairperson.
Thank you. I now pass the floor to the next speaker on the list, which is the distinguished